Hey guys, it's your favorite Unc here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of Nightcap. That button right here. Come for the sports, stay for the stories. Let me ask you this, Griff. When you go to the plate, you know this pitcher because at this point in time, for the most part, after about 5 or 6 years in the league, obviously there are pitchers coming in every single year. But you're very familiar with a lot of guys, what they like to throw. They like to throw you away. They like to high and tight you. They got a slider. They got a curve. They got a slurve ball. They got a knuckle change, a cutter, whatever the case may be. When you go up there and let's just say you're facing Greg Maddux or Tommy Glavine, what are you thinking?
What am I thinking? Well, I hit a ball out in 1992 in the All-Star game against Mad Dog. And I didn't see that pitch again. He never threw it to me again. Great pitchers and great hitters don't forget things. We're built like that. Guys that come in and throw certain pitches, but a lot of it has to do with situations. Guy on first base, I'm lefty. I'm trying to hit a ball in the hole. Guy on second, I'm still trying to get him over, but I'm not giving up in it back. Guy on third with less than 2 outs, I'm trying to drive him in. Fundamental baseball, because I came up as a number 2 hitter. I batted second. So I had to do all the little things. Then I went to fifth. They were like, we're going to teach you how to drive in runs. So I learned to drive in runs. Then they stuck me in third. Once I got to third, I was like, oh, this is where I belong. And the rest is history, but it, a year and a half of, going through, batting second, batting fifth, learning the game. And people don't understand, learning the game is not something that is very easy. Going from college, you guys to pros, it's a whole different animal. And same thing in baseball. You got one guy that's, throwing 95 in A-ball. Well, you got 20 guys on the staff, 13 guys just throwing the same thing. And all of them have different, release points and things, but you just got to sit there and study. I mean, we can break it down to how many breaths a guy take before he throws his fastball. Does he inhale or exhale? Just like you guys, offensive lineman, if his knuckles is a certain way, it's a run. If
it's a run. If I see pressure, I see pressure, it's run.
Yeah. I mean, so, we look at the same thing. The fine details make you successful. Guy that will go from the stretch, if he has his, he comes set and his glove is above his chest, then he's throwing a certain pitch. If it's down low, he's throwing another pitch. And you just watch. And like a couple years ago, Atlanta pitcher was pitching and, I called 15 straight pitches from my couch because I could see it. And that's what you got to do. If you want to be successful, you got to study. You got to do it day in and day out. It's just not you just show up at the ballpark. They tell you what's going on. No, you got to learn the fine details of your craft.
No. So you're saying if you bat, so you have to change. So if you bat leadoff, you have to do a certain thing because as a leadoff hitter, you're trying to get on base. As a 2, you're trying to push the leadoff to second or get him to third. If you can drive him in, you drive him in third. Maybe you got 2 guys. And so basically the top five batters all have a different task, but they're trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, we all have different jobs. You look at a leadoff hitter, his job is to make sure that number 3 and number 4 see enough pitches. So he may take, a ball right down the middle.
Okay.
So the guys can get their timing to hit.
Okay.
Because guys, what are we looking at? Okay, how's his changeup? If he can't throw his changeup over for a strike, we ain't swinging at it.
Right.
So we got to learn these things. And usually, nowadays, the guys 20 home runs would get you paid. Back then, guys weren't thinking about 20 home runs. When I came up, my dad hit 22. I thought I was going to be just like him. When I hit 22 home runs, I literally called him. It was like, I tied you. And that was like a big moment for me because I was like, that's, I patterned my game after my dad. And that was the fun part. And he said, you're going to hit way more home runs than I am. You're going to drive in more runs than I am. And I'm looking at him like, because sometimes you look at dad like this, when you're young. But, sometimes, as you get older, you start to understand dad does know what he's talking about.
Right.
we just got to believe in him sometimes.
Right. Griff, I mean, you was telling me the story when I had you on the pod way back when, and you said like a lot of times when your dad would come, like when your dad wasn't there, you driving the ball over the RVs, like 400 feet away. Your mom watching you. There's no pressure. Soon as your dad comes, you're like, and your dad told your mom one time, I thought you said this boy could hit.
Yeah. he literally said, is he good? Because every time I see him, he do nothing. And I just, like, people forget that every Saturday, my dad's still playing, so I didn't see him. So I wanted, that father approval. I'm trying to hit the ball a country mile, and I'm swinging as hard as I can, popping it up, swinging and missing. He was with the Braves one time, and he came in, and I went 0 for 2. I popped up to the catcher and struck out. And then I drove to the ballpark. He said, "How did you do?" I said, "I went 3 for 5, 2 home runs and a double." He said, "You got to do that when I'm there?" I said, "I don't know. I'm just." And then finally, I got a hit in A-ball and instructionally, and he was in an RV in left field. He slides the window open and said, "Now, was that so bad?" and shut it and drove off. and from that point on, I was good. I got my first hit, and that's all you really is like. You have to break the ice, and but for a while, I was a defensive specialist when he was at the game. I could go get him with the best of them, but I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat when he was sitting in there. Even my high school coach told my dad, "Hey, you might not want to show up. He can't play in front of you."
Hey, Griff, at what point did the game slow down to you? Like, if you ever watch you come to the plate, for those that have watched the game of baseball and watched you play over the years, there was a certain calm and relaxedness to you and confidence when you came to the plate. Obviously, you're known for having the most beautiful swing in the game, in baseball, of all goddamn time. At what point did the game slow down to you where you had that confidence, where you knew you had it and you finally had arrived?
Well, I've always had it, but that's because I believe in myself. But it was on the job training. You're learning so much. Okay, how to be a pro, the travel. I mean, I'm in a hotel, 82 days, figuring out, I can't rent a car. I can't do nothing because I'm 19. I got to rely on things. So it took me probably a year and a half. And then I really settled down when my dad was playing with me, because then I could see what was going on. I could see him set up pitchers. I could see him do certain things. And I'm like, that's what you do. And it really stuck. I mean, if you look at a hit 264 my first year, like 300 my second, and like 327 my third year. But it was finally, I was like, okay, now I understand what this man has been telling me over the phone.
Were you always a lefty, or did your dad say, I think it's best if you're going to be a baseball player to be a lefty?
No, I was always lefty. I write right-handed and kick right-footed.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
But my household is so confused. I mean, my wife is right, but she plays soccer on the left side. She still plays soccer, Ocho.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah, she plays on the co-ed team every Sunday. My daughter is right-handed, but she hits cross-handed. So she grabs the bat like a lefty and stands in a right-hander's batter's box, which Hank Aaron started out like that. My youngest, Tevin, he's left, but hits right. And Trey is right-handed and hits left. I told you we got a confused household. And you should see us on game day too, because none of us have the same favorite team.
So, boy, hey, so y'all are very upset at each other because whoever's winning, that's not your team. And so, but it's fun because you got a whole bunch of jerseys on, and somebody's always has somebody to root for.
Oh yeah, especially you've been giving my team some grief. I'm an old school Cowboy fan. My uncle.
Come on, Griff.
Hold on, man. Let me say this. My uncle went to high school with Tony Dorsett.
Okay.
So I go way back.
Yes.
Yeah. My youngest is a Michael Vick fan. He was a left-handed quarterback. Trey is a Ravens fan.
Okay.
Because Willis McGahee, Ed Reed, and Ray Lewis all went to Miami, so he grew up watching them. My wife is from Seattle, so she's a Seattle fan. And my daughter's a Carolina Panther fan because her favorite person, hold on, is Steve Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Smitty. Okay.
Yeah, like he could rob a bank and she's like, he ain't do it. I mean, he can't do nothing wrong in her eyes. But it's fun. I mean, but if we play each other, we don't even talk until after the game. If our teams play each other, we don't talk till after the game.
That's live.
And we get something to eat and talk about it. And one person usually does the talking. That's the person who won that day. but it's fun. I mean, I let everybody be individuals, and that's it.
Griff, what if you had a very unique situation? Your dad played long enough. He played well enough to be in the league when you got there. You see LeBron play long enough, play well enough to be in a league while his son came up. What advice would you, if you could give it, I don't know if you've talked to him, but what advice would you give Bronny playing alongside his dad, being in the league with his dad?
You're going to learn a lot by being able to sit there and be on the bench watching him. People go, oh, he needs to go to the G League. He needs this, he needs that. I tell you what, I learned more sitting there watching my dad than anything. You look at all these quarterbacks who sat behind somebody and how good they ended up becoming. They didn't play. They got to sit there and learn a system, learn how to be a professional, learn how to take notes, how to watch film and do all these things to become a pro and to go out there and be successful. Nowadays, these kids, first round picks, they throw them right in the fire. And, I feel sometimes these kids can't read a cover 2 or a cover 3 or read where the protection needs to be. And you see that every day. You guys sit there and pick out that stuff. But I did tell Bronny, just, hey, relax, enjoy it, be you. You're not going to be him. Nobody's him. And the same thing I feel like my dad told me when I got there, he said, this is your team. I'm just here. And he was dad at the ballpark. Dad at the house and team at the ballpark. But there, like I said, there are times where I rode home with mom.
Griff, having played the game as long as you played, you've seen some great hitters. You were in the league with Tony Gwynn, and I think you were in the league when Wade Boggs was winning batting titles in the AL. Tony won 7 in the National League. What makes Shohei Ohtani so special?
He has no weaknesses.
None?
He's a guy that if you throw it away, he's going to take it that way. And when you have power to all fields, that makes you a dangerous hitter.
Yes.
And that's the key. He has power everywhere. He go to grown man territory with the straight setter. He can take you out down the lines, each line. He also can steal a bag when you need it. I mean, he does things that you look at and go, he's all right. As my friend said, he gonna be all right. But he's one of those guys. I mean, he's a tall, slender kid that can flat out play, and he knows the game of baseball. The thing about playing in Japan is that's their pastime. They don't have no other thing. They ain't got a basketball team, a football team. Even though they play those sports, they go out and that baseball is it. And you got to be a monster come over from leaving there and coming over here. And you look at every player that's come over here, they can flat play.
Yeah. Hideki Matsui, Godzilla, Hideo Nomo.
Ichiro.
Ichiro. Ichiro, he's one of the 2 players to win the MVP in his rookie season. He and Fred Lynn. Did you play? You played with Ichiro, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was fun to watch. I mean, watching a guy, who can hit the ball a mile in batting practice, and all of a sudden he just filleting you to death over it. Yep. But if you throw one in the loop zone, he gonna take you out. And he's one of those guys that he gets on base and causes havoc. We say it's baseball. It's not home run ball. You got to get on base. Making left-hand turns is what you want to do. I don't want to make no right. I'll tell everybody.
Head back to the dugout, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to make a right-hand turn. I tell everybody, I'm NASCAR on I want to make lefts, and that's it.
Man, I can't take this anymore. Doc, you gotta help me. Man, this stupid meme is ruining my life.
Now I know just what you need. Olipop. Ridge Rush has got fiber, natural energy. It'll pick you right up.
Oh, okay. Oh, now that's a rush.
Smile for the camera.
Ocho?
Here you go, internet.
Griff, Ocho, I don't know if you know this, but Griff, you went to Cincinnati Moeller, and Moeller was a powerhouse back in the 80s, early 90s. They were a powerhouse. Did you play football? You played football, right?
Yeah, I got a state championship in
What
football.
position you was, Griff?
And then wide receiver.
Okay,
Now I'm gonna tell you, I wore number 2.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, Griff.
Yeah, hey.
Because 88 was too big.
In order to wear that single digits, you had to be that boy now.
Nah, I was just small then. I was just a tad bigger than the kicker.
When did you decide? Because obviously, going number 1 overall in baseball, you have to make a decision. When did you make the decision? Say, you know what, I'm gonna go baseball, and I'm gonna give up. Did you play basketball? Did you play any other sports?
No. I didn't play basketball in high school. I played it in junior high. But basketball, football ran into basketball season, and then baseball ran into basketball season. So I was like, well, I'll just play 2. After my junior year, all the talk started that I could be the first pick or the first one of the first 3. And, my dad said, hey, if you go in the first 3 rounds, you can go pro. Go pro. But if you're not, then you're going to college. But after about a month of them talking to my dad, he was like, he ain't gonna last long. He's really that good. But, the funny thing is they never told me. They let me be a kid, go out there, play baseball, not worry about anything. I didn't find out all these conversations until I literally was sitting there at like 23 years old, sitting on the couch. And Bobby Tolan was like, yeah, remember that conversation that I said we was going to draft you? I was like, yeah, I didn't think y'all were. And they said, we're Seattle. I said, where's Seattle, Dad? Because the only thing I knew about Seattle was that Bobby Brown, the baseball player, got traded from the Yankees to Seattle. And I was like, I had no idea where that was, because he was like, hey, you just a kid, go play, have some fun. This is my job, not yours. And I think people look at it and go, because my dad played, that I'm supposed to be in the locker room. I'm supposed to do all these things. And my dad was like, no, this is my job, and you be a kid. Go out there and have some fun. So I didn't worry about, anything else but besides being a kid at, 15, 16, 17.
Are you surprised how poorly your Cowboys are playing?
Are you just going to bring that up?
I figured I'd sneak that in before we got you out of here, Griff. We got to sneak that in.
No, you didn't have to do that. I mean, Chad, man, why he do that? We was having a good conversation.
It was a great conversation.
Y'all 3-5, Griff. I don't know if you noticed that. Y'all 3-5.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Dak is out. Dak is out too now. You know that.
Yeah, I know that too. But yeah, look, when my team win, nobody call me. But when my team lose, my phone light up like a Christmas tree.
Well, y'all don't win. Y'all don't win often, Griff.
Hey, look, come on, man.
I call you to say hello.
Hey, here it is. Injuries is part of the game.
Yes.
And we've had some pretty big injuries to some key players that you sometimes can't replace. And I don't care who they are that you got back there. Sometimes you look at it and just shake your head, a snake bitten team. I just want, for the guys and, as a fan, I want the guys to walk off the field healthy, each and every day. I don't like to see any cards coming out. I could care less who wins or loses. I like to see a good game. And lately, there hadn't been any good games.
Not with your Cowboys.
See, you just don't keep throwing that.
Oh, okay, how about this? Were you surprised how easily the Dodgers made this World Series look, because I think most people thought it would go 7 games, and you look at it. I mean, it's not often, Griff, that you get a World Series and you got the 2 best players. You got the best player in the American League in Judge. You got the best player in the National League in Ohtani. But, you go Mookie Betts, who's a former MVP. You go Freddie Freeman, who's a former MVP for the Dodgers. And then you go Soto. I mean, so you got good players from top to bottom. Are you surprised how easy the Dodgers made it look?
I think what happened is, when they played the Padres, when the Dodgers played the Padres, that was like their World Series.
Okay.
Because that team played them pretty tough. The Yankees had a little easier route to the World Series, but you still got to beat these teams. I felt that the Dodgers and Yankees pitching staff were pretty equal. I told everybody that it was going to come down to like the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters being able to get to the top of the order, and that's what happened. I mean, you watched it. The teams the team that won, their 7, 8, 9 guys did a better job than the other team. In baseball, I can still neutralize their best player. I don't have to pitch to Ohtani. I don't have to pitch to Judge. I can pitch around them, but it takes everybody to do a job.
To make them pay for it, though. You got to have your 7, 8, 9 hitters to make them pay for pitching around, or your guys that's behind those guys to make them pay. Have you ever seen anything like Freddie Freeman?
No. Freddie's an unbelievable guy. I mean, to go through the things he went through, personal matter with the family, his son, and then come back, twist his ankle, and not being able to put hardly any weight on it, and then go out there and do what he did in the World Series. All I did was take my hat and tip it to him, because that was fun to watch. I told him, I said, look, I'm going to walk you. You're not hitting a home run in the first inning no more. You're getting walked. I don't care if the base is loaded. I'm going to walk you. I'm not giving up 4. Because it was just, when the guys that come up, we talked about earlier, guys that come up in big moments do big things, and he did it.
Right.
I mean, 12 RBIs?
Yes. And 4 homers? Are you surprised Cortez? I get there's no place to put him, but I mean, you're going to try to, don't throw him a fastball in.
No, you can't. Look, as my hitting coach said, and Gene Kleins, who passed away a couple years ago, would say, you can't sneak no cheese past a rat. So don't throw the fastball if unless you got some of that behind it. And he just left it over the middle of the plate, and game over.
We're going to get you out of here on this one, Griff. There have been a lot of athletes that have signature shoes. Where would you rank your shoe? The Griffey.
1.
I had every color. And every color.
Now, what's funny is I got MJ shoes, LeBron shoes, Kobe shoes, Iverson shoes. I keep a stock full of shoes.
You do.
And I just, to be able to have my own is a blessing, and what I was able to achieve. I mean, and you really owe it all to Michael and what he's done, and getting businesses to endorse athletes,
right.
To come out and say, hey, I think he'd be a good spokesman for us. And you owe all that to him, because him and Bo, those are the 2 main guys.
The Bo cross trainer.
Yeah. Those are the 2 guys that, without them, who knows what we'd look like right now. We'd still be like, I will say this, my first Nike deal, and I get teased about it, was $1,500 in the big leagues. It was $750 in cash and $750 in merch.
Well, damn, you couldn't give me like 10 pair of shoes.
Man, look, I got 2 pairs of Jordans, a sweatsuit, and some socks. And then it got a little bit better and things like that. But like I said, man, I owe it all to the guys that played before me and what they did. I mean, like you guys, I watched Chad. I was there when Chad had his 2000 gold jacket on. And then try to hit Ray and both of them out the game. I was sitting there like at halftime going, where's everybody at? Chad in the locker room. Where Ray at? He in the locker room. I was like, I'm on the sideline cheering. I'm like, I want to see my man score.
Yeah. Griff, the last question for me. We all witness Barry that stretch that he had, say from 01 until about 04, 05. Have you ever seen, have you ever heard, or do you ever think we'll see a stretch of baseball like that again?
Well, Ohtani did it this year, but he's got 3 more to do it. I mean, what Barry did was impressive. I mean, to what he got 600 and something intentional walks, and the closest one is Pujols.
Yeah.
That's
almost 400 intentional walks behind him.
Yeah, that says a lot about how feared of a hitter he was.
And I think he had from that stretch, he reached base 36% of the time.
Well, when you get walked 600 times, it makes it easy. And that's just intentional walk. We ain't talking about the regular walk. Barry always had a good eye. People, yes. I mean, he was a leadoff hitter. Barry came up with the Pirates as a leadoff hitter. So you have to tighten your zone up. And he just continued that throughout his career. I mean, he very seldom swung at bad pitches.
Yeah. And then he had that big old hockey. He had that big old hockey goalie elbow pad on. So he's sitting out over the plate. You got to throw him what he's looking for. Or he go take it off.
My mom did this to him. He came to the house because, back then you wasn't making a whole lot of money. And so it was customary that, when you go into certain towns that, they feed you.
Right.
So my mom fed him. That boy hit 5 home runs in 3 days. As he's leaving, my mom said, "Never again. I'm going to get you on getaway day. You can get your food on the bus. You can go do this to the next team. You ain't doing it to my team no more." She would look at him and he just started laughing. Every time she see him, she was like, "Getaway day." Because he put an order in. He put an order in turkey, greens, potato salad. I mean, this ain't like, we're going to make hamburgers or something. No, he put a Thanksgiving order in every time he came into town. And she was like, "Nope, not no more."
Man. Griff, man, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate you giving us time. You staying up watching the game. It was great knocking up, talking with you. As always, I'll chat with you later this week. I got some more questions I want to ask.
Okay, Chad. What you doing on Sunday? I need a soccer player. It's a co-ed team.
Where? You need me to fly to?
Look, you right down the street, ain't you? We in Orlando.
Oh, let me know. I'll come down.
Look, I take pictures. I don't play because I want to be the goalie.
Yeah. Let me know. I'll come on down. That's only 2 hours away.
All right. I appreciate it.
Hey, Griff, we appreciate that, man. I'll holler, man. Thanks for joining us.
Later.
All right, bro.
Later.